Wet your beauty blender under some water, squeeze it out. I see a lot of people using beauty blenders dry. You don't use your beauty blender dry.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to your girl's channel. If you are new here, my name is Bree. Welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below because I already know you're gonna like your girl, okay? So go ahead and hit that real subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. But anyway, you guys, in this video I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how I do my makeup, like a makeup 101 for you ladies who are afraid to do makeup or who just don't know where to start. I'm going to give you ladies some tips. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch back up with you guys in the end. Okay, you guys, so jumping right in. First tip I have for you is to make sure you've already cleansed and exfoliate your face and moisturized your face, okay? The best way to make your makeup look good is to make sure your canvas, which is your face, is already doing good. You know what I'm saying? Go see you an esthetician. Make sure your skin is popping, okay? Under your makeup is gonna make your makeup look even that much better when your skin is just naturally popping already. So I've already exfoliated my face. I've actually already arched my eyebrows. I waxed my eyebrows, and I have moisturized my face. I've cleansed my face and all that good stuff. So that's your very first step before you even think about putting any makeup products on your face. Number two, you need to go ahead and find out your skin type. Are you oily? Are you dry? Does your makeup tend to crease? Okay, mine does tend to crease, and my skin is a little dry and a little oily on my forehead. Okay, so I won't get my smile lines. I like to use the Fenty primer. It's the Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. So I've already put this on my face. I put about 2 pumps on, and I make sure I focus, especially around my smile line and under my eyes where you might get creasing from your makeup. So yeah, this is my favorite primer. I've been using this for probably like 6 months now, and I probably won't go back. And it may cost you a little extra bread, but it lasts a long time. I'm not even halfway done. And like I said, I've had it for like 6 months, but yeah, I absolutely love that. Okay, so another tip, you guys, is to make sure that you are letting your product sit on your face before applying the next product. Okay, what I mean by that is when you put your moisturizer on your face, let that soak in for at least 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure it's penetrated your skin. Don't put another product right on top of the moisturizer. Let it soak in for like 1 or 2 minutes, okay? Then after that, you put your primer on and let your primer soak in for 1 or 2 minutes too, sis, okay? So those are really important steps, your skincare and your primer. All right, so you guys, I just want to let you know that you do not have to go out and buy the most expensive products. You can go to the drugstore, especially Ulta. Ulta has some really affordable products. If you guys have not heard of Juvia's Place, I'm going to be using Juvia's Place products on my face today. And Juvia's Place, their products are really marketed at affordable prices. I'm talking $20, $15 less. You know, they have eyeshadow palettes. So today I'm going to be using their foundation. It's a full coverage foundation, you guys. It looks like this, and I believe this one is about $20. So just make sure when you're going into your drugstores or wherever you're getting your makeup from, make sure you're getting your color match. Use a sample. And I would suggest you put the makeup like close to your neck so your face can match your neck, okay? So if your face and your neck is 2 different colors, you want to get the color that matches your neck the best so it won't look crazy when you put your full face of makeup on, okay? So you guys, I am using the shade Kampala 340 in Juvia's Place. And like I said, this is a full coverage foundation, so we don't need a whole bunch. And remember, we've already taken care of our skin, so we don't need to put too much product on our face, okay? I just like a nice natural beat. I don't like to have a cakey face. So that's kind of what I'm showing you guys today, how to get your little natural beat. We don't need cakey faces every day. So the brush I'm using is a Fenty Beauty brush. It's called the Foundation 110 brush. It's one of my favorite brushes to use with this thicker foundation. I do use it when I use my Fenty too, but I really like it when I'm using the Juvia's Place. So what I like to do is I put a little bit on my brush, not much at all, guys, like literally that much. It's not a lot at all. Like I said, this is full coverage, and if you've ever used Juvia's Place's foundation, since you know it's full coverage for real, like it's no joke. So I'm gonna like put dabs all over my face. And I've already color matched, guys. Remember, when you go into the store, you make sure it's your color. Like, you're going to have a summer shade and a winter shade. So you're going to be naturally darker in the summer if you're outside. So this is my summer shade. So what I do, you guys, is I make sure that I'm putting it around my jawline too, because you don't want a line of demarcation. So just make sure you put a little of that foundation around your jawline. And so what I like to do with this brush is just go ahead and buff. And I know it looks like it's not a lot of foundation on my face. That's because it's not. Like I said, you're going to see this is a very full coverage foundation. We don't even let this foundation sit. We go ahead and buff it out immediately. But we can always go in and add more if we need to. It's harder to take away than it is to add more. So take your time. When you're doing your makeup, make sure you have time, especially if you're a beginner. Take your time. And again, guys, if you can't tell, I'm taking my precious time blending, okay? This is another important tip. Take your time when you're blending out your foundation, okay? This brush right here, though, it's gonna be good for beginners, I think, because it's easy to blend. I know I love a beauty blender too, but I prefer to use my beauty blender when I'm buffing out my concealer under my eye, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, guys, just take your time blending in. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. And you see how I'm like going around my jawline? We don't want that line of demarcation, so that's the reason why I'm doing that. Okay, guys, so for me, because I have like some hyperpigmentation on the sides of my face, I'm going to go in with just a little bit more here and probably a little bit more here because I do have some hyperpigmentation on both sides of my cheek. So I'm just going to go in with little small dots, y'all. Like, y'all see this foundation is super full coverage. So I'm just going in with little dots here and put some there and just go ahead and blend that out. And also, guys, if you have not already noticed yet, I didn't put any foundation on my forehead. I'm one of those girls who don't put foundation. Well, I don't put a lot of foundation on my forehead. I'm going to show you later what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the residue from this brush to like buff a little bit on my forehead. But I don't put a lot of foundation on my forehead for a couple reasons. One reason being that my forehead is typically darker than the rest of my face. So I just don't put any foundation on my forehead. I find that it looks weird. So you don't have to do that. That's just a preference of mine. So I just find that it looks better when I don't put foundation on my forehead. And also I'm wearing a lace frontal. So I just don't want my lace to look crazy. So I don't put the foundation on my forehead. But what I do is I take the residue from the brush, which is not a lot. I just rub it on here. Okay, guys, so that's the first step. That was an important step. Okay, look how smooth the makeup application looks. Okay, my foundation is on, right? But of course, now my favorite part is the concealer. So I'm going to be going in with number 12 from Juvia's Place. It's a concealer. I think this one markets for about $15 at Ulta. This is one of my favorite concealers, y'all know. Like, I just started using Juvia's Place not that long ago, but I'm really liking it. And another tip is going to be that you don't need to go too many shades lighter than your skin tone. Like I said, right now, I'm in my summer shade, so I'm a little bit darker. So my concealer may appear to be a lot lighter than my skin tone, but usually you're going to do 2 shades, no more than 3 shades brighter than your natural skin tone. So you guys know how when you're on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and you see those girls with those huge triangles under the eye, you really don't have to do that. I used to do it too, but it's just unnecessary. For one, you're wasting too much product, and number 2, you don't want to highlight so far down. So I'm just going to show you how I'm putting my concealer on. And another pro tip is to not drag. Don't go ahead and put your concealer all the way up under your eye, because that's where you're going to get your most creasing at. It's just natural for everyone to get creasing under there because you're blinking. Everybody creases under their eyes. So it's okay. You're not getting old. It's not just you. Everybody creases under their eye. So I don't put it directly under my eye. I just leave a little gap, and I'll blend it up later on with just a little bit. So I also go ahead and highlight my Cupid's bow. and my nose and my forehead and the chin. That's it, y'all. This little bit of foundation, I promise you, is gonna go a long way. Okay, another pro tip. You don't necessarily have to get a beauty blender, but I'm using a beauty blender. A great alternative for a beauty blender are the makeup sponges by e.l.f. I like e.l.f.'s. They market for about $5. Beauty blenders market for about $20. So, you know, choose wisely, sis. Okay, ooh, nose itches, y'all. Okay, y'all, so make sure your beauty blender is wet, guys. Wet your beauty blender under some water, squeeze it out. I see a lot of people using beauty blenders dry. You don't use your beauty blender dry. Like, I just can't even imagine like pouncing that dry thing on my face. So anyway, you wet your beauty blender, squeeze it out, and then I squeeze it on a towel to get the excess water out because we don't want it dripping wet, okay? So what I like to do is I start with my chin. I like to do my under eye last because I like my under eyes to set down so the concealer will kind of stay in place. And again, guys, we always gonna take our time. Take your time when you're blending out anything on your face because you don't want it to look like you have makeup on, right? Well, it's gonna look like you have makeup on, but you want it to be flawless, seamless. You don't want lines of demarcation. So just take your time blending it out. Okay, guys, so the last part of my concealer I'm blending out is gonna be my under eye, and you guys also can tell that I have put a little bit on the side of my nose as well. And the reason why I do that is to help with my contour. Okay, so we want that nose to be like snatched. Okay, so, well, at least I want my nose to be snatched. You don't have to do this, but I do put a little bit on the sides. So I go ahead, and I'm doing this with a really light hand. You guys don't go in and be like hurting yourself. Don't be pushing it too far into your skin. Just go in with a little light hand and just start blending it. I start with the side of my nose, blend up and down softly. Then I go on to under. Like I said, I'm not touching up here yet. I'm starting down here. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with the other side of my beauty blender. You're going to see me do this a lot. I do that because I feel like it's too much product on here. So to diffuse the product, I go in with the side that I haven't touched yet. So I just use that to kind of diffuse the product out. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend this product upwards under my eye now. Okay. Can you guys see that? Okay, guys, again, can't never do too much blending, okay? And so for me, you guys, I like a slightly wider under eye, just under my eye, not all the way across like I did before. So what I do is, what I like to do is take this Sephora, it's called Bright Future, and it's a brand by, it's a concealer by Sephora. It's in the number 13 Creme Caramel, I guess the color is called. So then I just put a little bit of that right here. And the goal for me is just to put it underneath my circles of my eyes, because I have like some subtle circles under my eyes. So I just put that small amount and I let that dry down for just a second, not too long. And then I go ahead and blend that out. Again, guys, light hand. Okay, guys, so right when you get finished blending out the concealer under your eye, make sure you don't have any creases. And then you're going to go in with your setting powder, okay? Today, I am using the Maybelline Fit Me New York setting powder. And mine is in the shade 20, which is light medium. And what I like to do is I dip that same beauty blender that I was working under my eye. I dip that same beauty blender into my setting powder and I blow it off. And then I just put it under my eye like this. And I just pat it straight in, okay? Like I told you guys earlier, I have pretty dry skin. So I don't bake. You'll see a lot of girls on YouTube and Facebook and whatever social media, they're baking. I don't bake because my skin is already pretty dry. So I'm not gonna bake. What baking does is it just dries it out for me. And so guys, what I'm doing is I'm using that excess And I'm just putting that in the Cupid's bow area where we put concealer. And I'm also putting it in my smile lines to set them in place, okay? You don't want your smile lines to be showing up all day, all right? So we just putting that in the areas where we would normally get smile lines just to help prevent them from showing up throughout the day. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and put some setting powder around all the highlighted areas of our face. So we did our nose, we did our Cupid's bow, we'll do our chin, and we'll do our forehead. My forehead is where I get the greasiest, so I put the most setting powder here just so I won't get greasy throughout the day. And obviously, guys, Jackie Aina is one of my favorite YouTubers, so I kind of got this tip from her book. I leave this on my nose until I finish doing my contour, because it just makes your nose, I don't know, make that nose look snatched. Okay, sis? I don't know. So next I'm going to do is I'm going to start contouring, okay? So just make sure you got everything blended before you start contouring, okay? Make sure that setting powder is not looking too, you know, flashbacky. We're going to look a little ghostly for a second, but the contour is what's going to bring it back together, sis, okay? So today I'm going to be using my Maybelline New York contour. It's really just a concealer, but it's all the same thing. Makeup, contour, foundation, concealer. It's all the same formula, just different colors, essentially. So I'm using the color 60 Cocoa for my contour. And so what I like to do, y'all, I'm going to turn to the side so y'all can see. So I don't put the contour in the center of my hollows. Like, so when I say my hollows, when you do this, that's your hollows. I don't put the makeup in the center of there, okay? I put it above because we want to get those cheeks a lift, okay? You don't want to make your face like it's drooping. We giving them cheeks a lift. So when I do that, I'm going to put it on top like this. And you see how much I put? You don't need a whole lot, okay? Some of them girls be overdoing it. We don't need a whole lot. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, you guys. Then I'm going to also put it on my nose like this. And then I'm going to put some dots and contour the nose. Not putting too much. And I like to start like around the eyebrow line and bring my way down. That's how I guide where to put it. And then I just create a little circle. Not a circle, but you know, you see what I'm doing around that highlighted area. Okay, then to chisel that jawline, sis, we're gonna put a little bit underneath our jaw. So notice how I'm not putting it directly on the jaw. I'm putting it underneath the jaw. Just like this. Okay, then I'm gonna put just a little bit underneath the chin. Like I told y'all earlier, I'm not putting too much makeup on my forehead because I got lace on, sis. Okay, we're not putting a whole bunch of makeup on our forehead. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab a different beauty sponge, and again, I've already wetted, and I'm just gonna squeeze it on my towel right here on my table. I know y'all can't see that, but just squeeze it on the towel. Okay, so I'm taking a different blender, and then what I like to do is blend out the part on my cheeks first. And you want to blend it upward, not down. And again, y'all, this tip I'm going to keep on saying. Take your time when you're blending. Take your sweet time. So now I'm just going to blend that out under the nose. And I like to put whatever residue under my lip right here. I just think it creates a nice shadow, making your lips look a little more pouty, you know. And I like that look. And whatever residue I have left, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the forehead. Like I said, I don't put a lot of makeup on my forehead, especially when I got on the lace, okay? We don't want to mess the lace up. So I'm just putting a little residue on my forehead. Now, I'm going to go in with the nose, y'all. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They are moving too fast and they make it look muddy. Just take your time, okay? Squeeze that beauty blender till you make it look real tiny. And I start with the eye area and I just work my way down. So y'all, this is why I waited to do my eyebrows. I normally would do my eyebrows first, but because I'm starting to like put in the contour until the eyebrow bone, I just go ahead and do the makeup part first. It just makes it easier for me to do my brows. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab a brush and I'm gonna go ahead and blend away the setting powder from my nose. I like to use my finger as well, just so you can make sure everything is blended. And a lot of times what I go back and do, if I feel like I over contour, I'll grab a little more setting powder on my beauty blender and then I'll just put a little on the side of my nose just to make sure I didn't over contour. Well, you do this to clean up the contour, I should say. So, and I just dab it away. I use a much smaller brush to get the nose as well. Okay guys, so now that we're done contouring, I like to set my contour with the bronzer, and what better bronzer than Miss Rihanna herself, Fenty. I use the shade Cocoa Naughty. This is my favorite color bronzer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a fluffy brush. Go ahead and tap that in there and tap off the excess. And then everywhere I contour, that's where I'm gonna put my bronzer, okay? And y'all, when you put your bronzer on, this really is gonna help bring back some color into your face. And this is where I show my forehead a little love. I feel like the powder does better with the lace. So I tend to show my forehead a little bit more love now. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with my blush, and today for blush I'm using another Maybelline New York Fit Me blush, and it is in the shade Wine. And so I'm gonna use another fluffy blending brush, dab that into my blush, tap off the excess because we don't want no too red rosy cheeks, okay? So I don't smile when I do this. I don't know. I just kind of know where my cheek is. It's right here. Guys, you don't want to put it too low because it's going to look crazy. Put it right here on the top of your cheeks, okay? And then work your way back. And what I like to do, any excess, I just put on my nose, put a little here, put a little there. I don't put it back. I don't add more product. I'm just blending out whatever is left. Because I just feel like, you know, you have those natural colors in your face. So that's what I like to do. Okay, guys. So next what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going ahead and set my face with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And then I just let that dry down and go ahead and go into the brows. So for brows, I like to go in with this Kiss New York Professional Top Brow Fine Precision Brow Pencil. I know that's a lot of words, y'all, but it's in the shade Dark Brown, I believe. Yeah, the shade Dark Brown. And the reason why I like to do this is because the tip is so fine, so it just makes it easier for you to do your brows. And on the other end, it does have a spoolie already attached, okay? So I'm really liking that brushed up eyebrow look. So I just already have my eyebrows brushed up. And then what I do first, I have to bring my mirror closer because when you're doing your eyebrows, you really want to like make the lines really precise. So I just like to bring my mirror closer, right? And so what I do is I start from the inner corner. Can y'all see that? Okay, I start from the inner corner. Of the brow, and I'm using a light hand, you guys. And I just create a line all the way to the other side of the eyebrow. And I'm just mocking my natural eyebrow line. Okay, y'all see that? So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Using the light hand. And if y'all are like most people on this earth, you got two different eyebrows, okay? So both my eyebrows are not exactly the same, but we try to do the best we can, honey. They sisters, not twins, okay? So I actually don't put a line on the top. I just do a line on the bottom. And then I take the spoolie and I just blend upwards. So I blend that line that I put on the bottom up into the brow. Okay, guys, so you guys see how they still kind of look natural. They still kind of look wispy. I didn't add too much product, okay? So the next thing I do for my eyebrows is go ahead and put the concealer on the bottom. Again, you don't want to use a concealer that's too bright. I like to use a concealer under my eyebrows that is actually closer to my skin color. So I'm going in with this Clinique Beyond Perfect Foundation plus Concealer in the shade Golden, number 24. So what I like to do is I put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I grab, what is this brush? It's my Morphe M421 brush. And so I just put that, dab the concealer on the brush. Make sure the brush is laying flat. And I just go ahead, let me move my mirror so y'all can see better. So I just go ahead and I conceal underneath the brow. And again, you guys, I know I've said it 1,000 times, but just take your time. Okay, guys, so after I get that concealer on there, what I'd like to do is take a blending brush. This one is from XOXO, and I just go ahead and blend that concealer out underneath the brow. Okay, guys, so at this point, if I see any other imperfections in my brow, I just grab my pencil. And I like to make hair like strokes. Like I told you guys earlier, my eyebrows are not the same. So my right one, I always have to like play with it a little bit to make sure it looks.
Excuse me, what is wrong with me? Coronavirus?
I'll have to, just kidding, y'all. I always have to play with the right one a little bit to just make it look more like the one on the left. Okay, y'all. So brows are done. Just need to do a little bit more blending. And y'all, another tip, don't be afraid to use your fingers, okay? A lot of times you'll find that your fingers will do a better job than any tool you have. So don't be afraid to use the fingers. I'm going to go ahead and do a little eyeshadow on my eyes. I'm not going to show you guys that because that's a whole nother ball game, girl, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeshadow off camera, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how we wrap up this flawless bead, okay? Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and did my eyeshadow and I put on my eyelashes. And for a tip, I do use black eyelash glue. It looks like hair glue, but it's not hair glue. It says eyelash glue. This is my favorite type of glue to use. It's black and it also dries black, so it just kind of blends in with your eyelashes. So what you want to do is put a very, very thin, y'all, very, very thin line of glue onto the eyelash, and you're gonna hold it with your tweezers and let it sit for about 1.5 minutes before you actually stick it on your eyelash. That's the trick. Let it sit for about 1.5 minutes to get tacky, just like you would do like when you put your wigs on. You gotta wait for the glue to get tacky. It's the same kind of concept. Wait for this glue to get tacky before you stick it on your lash line, okay? Put it as close as you can to your lash line using your tweezers. I usually put my tweezers in the middle of the lash, and then I just look down into a mirror. Usually I use a little small mirror like this, and I put the mirror like under my face, and I look down and I just pop the lash on, and then I squeeze the tweezers to make sure the lash is adhered to my lash line. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the lashes. So next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and set our entire face with I'm using my Fit Me, what's this called? This is my Fit Me Matte Poreless Powder in the shade 355, which is coconut. So I'm just putting that on a brush, and I'm just gonna set my whole face because we didn't do that earlier. This is just so your makeup lasts longer and so your makeup won't move throughout the day. So set the entire face. with that. And that's pretty much like the same color as my skin color, so that's why we use that. Like that. All right, y'all, so now for the highlights. You don't have to do this stuff either, but you know your girl love to look a little shiny. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do a highlighter. And so today I'm using my Ruby Kisses All Over Glow. It says bronzing powder, but it's actually a glowy powder. It looks like this. It's like a blush pink kind of color, and I love this, y'all. So I put some on my little I don't know, this is a highlight brush. It came from a packet, like a highlight package from BH Cosmetics. So I just dabbed that in there, rub it off, and I put it like right here on the top of my cheeks, y'all, just like this. Then I put a little bit on my nose and my Cupid's bow. I like to use my fingers a lot, y'all, so y'all will notice that a lot about me. So I like to use my fingers, so I'm using my middle finger just to put some right there on my nose, just in that little center spot there, and right on the tip. Okay. All right, y'all, and then what I like to do last is my lips. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a brown lip pencil. This one is from Ruby Kiss, and I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips. Y'all, I'm obsessed with like a nude neutral colored lip, so that's why I use this brown color first. And then I'm just gonna set my face with my all-nighter, my Urban Decay all-nighter makeup setting spray. Shake it up first, and I'm gonna spray my whole face. Sometimes I go hand with that setting spray, y'all, so you ain't gotta spray that much. And then also, guys, on top of my falsies, I go ahead and put some mascara just to blend in my false lashes with my real lashes. And I did put a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes as well. And rub that in. Put that on in the center. Rub that in. And then I'm gonna go on with my favorite Fenty gloss, y'all. I'm running out, but I just bought another one. Just waiting for it to get here. This is the Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. Okay, y'all, so now let me go change my clothes so I can look cute, okay? Okay, you guys, that concludes today's video. I hope this was educational. I hope you guys learned some good tips about makeup from your girl. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, girl, baby girl, go ahead and hit that like button down below. It looks like this, you know, down there. Go ahead and hit that like button. It helps your girl out so much. It won't cost you a dime. And again, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to your girl's channel, okay? Because I'm going to bring you the heat this summer, all right? So go ahead and subscribe to your girl's channel. Again, guys, I love you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I move. She let it clap for a nigga. If she throw it back for a nigga.